Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. We have some news about Scream 7. Neve Campbell got on the internet yesterday and decided to tell everybody some big old pieces of information about Scream 7 that immediately had me like, this movie's gonna suck ass. First and foremost, Neve Campbell wants to come back, or she is coming back, now that Melissa Barrera has been fired, and for all of her weird bullshit. And then you have Jenna Ortega, who I think quit. So the core four weren't even going to be in Scream 7. I think the company realized at that point that people like myself who were excited that Scream had moved on from the Sidney Prescott bullshit and everything else and had done their own thing with Scream 5 and Scream 6. I really loved both of those movies quite a bit. Scream 5 isn't perfect. 6 is pretty good. Scream 5 I think I like better, but both are good in my opinion. I like the new direction we've been going. Radio Silence had a really good idea with going out of their way to do something different as a directing team and writing team, I assume. But now the core four are gone, I assume, unless we bring the two remaining members back to hang out with Sidney in this movie. But Scream 7 is basically going to be Neve Campbell doing another fucking requel sequel to Scream. I just don't want her here anymore. I just don't give a shit about her. She's not that good of an actress. She never has been. The only reason she is here is because of her legacy as a character here, and because the company realized she is the only guaranteed draw that they possibly have, aside from taking the time to set up new people. New characters, maybe in Woodsboro, maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. I just didn't want Neve Campbell back again. When you have somebody who comes in and is having the issues that she's having, I don't know. It feels like the whole thing feels hokey and feels fake to me, like when she was so militant and mad about Scream 6 and not coming back because of the pay dispute she was a part of. Then we have her showing up for this and talking about how she's so excited and how it's been a legacy thing. It's the most Jamie Lee Curtis shit I've ever seen in my life, and I can't stand her. She, Sigourney Weaver, Jamie Lee Curtis, at this point have basically whored them out to horror, or whored themselves out to horror, that if you pay them high enough, they'll come out here. They'll do it. They don't care what you ask them to do. They'll do it. And then you have people like Jamie Lee Curtis that come in trying to take control of the whole project, and she did that with Halloween Ends. I don't give a shit when anybody says I'm convinced that that movie is what it is because she was one of the producers on that movie. But I'm scared to death Neve Campbell's going to make the same fuck up. She immediately started talking about how much she loved working with, Radio Silence, and she loved working with Wes Craven and all of this melodramatic bullshit. And then on top of all of that, the cherry on top of this situation is she announces that Kevin Williamson, the writer of the original film, the co-creator of Scream, who worked on 2 and 3 and 4 as well with Wes Craven, Kevin Williamson is not a great writer. He did a great job with Wes Craven making that first movie. 2 and 3 and 4 are a rough, mixed bag. 4 is the best of those, I think. And then you have him making other films like I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which the first of that series is the only good one and decent one. And then you have newer movies he's done like Sick for Peacock a few years ago that was mildly okay, Kevin Williamson's not the best writer ever, nor has he ever directed as far as I know, and I'm surprised that he's never had the opportunity to direct one of these movies yet, but here we are. And between Neve Campbell coming back and this fake attitude that she has, on top of Kevin Williamson coming in to direct after having a career that he did the Scream films and the I Know What You Did Last Summer films, and I think H2O as well. And then aside from that, he's just vanished most of the time. His career kind of died because he just kind of ruined horror and left, making it very 90s and sleek and stuff. Now that he's back, I'm just like in this place that I just don't give a shit about Scream 7 at this point. I will see it. I might even see it in the theaters, but I just have no thrill for this at this point. Because now, with Kevin Williamson coming in, his hokey-ass writing is going to be all over the walls of this movie. I assume he's writing it as well. She said just directing. I don't know. But I'm scared to death about what he's going to do, what kind of twists he'll try to pull. For all we know, the entire group could turn out to be the killers that are not Neve Campbell in this current movie, or Neve Campbell could end up being the killer in this film, for all we know. It could be so fucking dumb and lame, and I have a feeling it's going to be that way. But I don't know. I'm really let down, man. Scream 5 was a nice reset, despite it being messy. Scream 6 was a kind of disappointment, but it was good at the same time for me. And Scream 7, I think, just from the get-go was going to be bad. I just have no excitement for this movie, for my own personal taste. Maybe a lot of hardcore Neve Campbell and classic Scream fans will be excited. I don't know. But dude, can we stop? Can we please, for the love of God, stop? Neve Campbell has been in this franchise 6 times at this point. We're at Scream fucking 7. Can we move along, for the love of God, and get the fuck away from Woodsboro and Sidney Prescott? The shooting in New York City thing was the best thing ever for the previous movie, in my opinion. It was such a great, helpful restart and a refreshing place to go for those movies. 2 didn't pull that off with the college thing. 3 didn't pull that off with the Hollywood thing. And the Jay and Silent Bob cameos and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. Scream 7's gonna suck. I'm calling it right now. Anyway, what do you think about Neve Campbell returning, Kevin Williamson directing and possibly writing, I guess? What do you think about all of that? Are you excited? Are you a Scream fan? I'd love to hear everything you have to say about the movies down in the comment section down below. I guess we'll see what happens. I think it's coming out next year. I don't know. It might be this year. I assume it has to be next year because it's already too late in this year for it to come out. But I'm not pumped about this, man. We could have already had Scream 7 by now if everything hadn't happened with all this political bullshit and the SAG-AFTRA striking, rioting nonsense. If all of that shit hadn't happened, we could have probably had Scream 7 by now, and it could have been good. But I guess not. Anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts about everything down in the comment section down below. I'm going to go grab some lunch and then come back and make the next video. God bless you guys. Goodbye.